Hey, what's going on, y'all? Joe Anderson, Truflava Productions. Happy Tuesday to everybody. I know that yesterday I sent out a little bit of a trailer, I guess, for what we're going to be looking at today. Looking at sync licensing, and I know that in the beginning of this video, I did kind of put a definition of what that is. I think it was something along like synchronization license is a music license granted by the holder of a copyright of a particular composition, allowing the licensee to synchronize music with some form of visual music outlet, film, television shows, advertisements, video games, accompanying music, website, movie trailers. Long story short, what that basically is it's a vehicle for you to put your creative works into a practical medium. We all know that every song that we do is not going to be a hit. Everything that we do is not going to actually get to the artist that we may want it to go with, but some music can still have practical purpose. And what that basically does is it allows this music to be on a television show. It can be on a movie trailer. It can be in a commercial. I'm not sure if y'all remember this show. I used to love this show called 2.5 Men. And one of the brothers, Charlie, was a piano player, and he lived in like Malibu on the beach. And all he did was write little commercial jingles. Well, that's basically, you know, without all the details, he was licensing music to be used in commercials. And that's the kind of life that can actually be made out there for this type of vehicle. As I mentioned before, every song doesn't have a purpose in terms of making sure that it's going to be like a #1 hit somewhere, but it can be the main theme of a commercial, or it can be the theme for a TV show. One of the cool things to do a lot of times is to get with your local, you know, somebody who has a podcast, or, you know, a local person who does films, independent films. What they run into a lot of times is they can't put these films onto YouTube or other outlets because they have to clear licensing. That means that they have to go ahead and get to the artist who really did the song, get permission for them to use that song. If you're the one who's actually doing that song, they can clear the licensing through you, and then you can get royalties off of that. I'm going to be going into a little bit more details in regards to, like, you know, all the things that have to be done with it. It's a little bit deep. One of my partners, Darren Chandler, you probably heard me mention him before, SSDK Music out in Cali. He got his first placement just recently. Very proud of you, D. That's good stuff. But there's the things that you have to kind of take into account here. There's formatting. A lot of that kind of music is a little bit different than just throwing out a track. You also want to make sure that you're shopping your music to a particular type of genre that meets what you do and what you do well. And then there's a little bit of research in terms of making sure that you get that music to the right person. An example of what I was talking about in using just a local person is that you probably heard the music that was in the beginning of this video and kind of running in the background right now. That music is my music. If I were doing a podcast, or if I were doing this and putting it on YouTube and it was someone else's music, I would really need to be going out and asking them for licensing rights to use that music. I don't have to do that because it's my music. But say you have a friend who's a videographer, or you have a friend who actually, or people that are in your community that do, you know, film or radio. Sometimes they're going to want to have to use music that they don't want to have to go and get the licensing for. They should be able to come to you, and you should have a catalog that's available for them. So we're going to go into a little bit more of that in the weeks to come, but I just want to kind of do a little bit of a preview of that. Sync licensing. Take some time to kind of Google it, look at some of the YouTube videos that are out on it. That's some really good info. And I'm going to follow up next week in regards to some of the formatting things that kind of come into play when you're putting together sync music, or, you know, sync licensing music. I appreciate all y'all who check out these videos, who like it and follow me. As always, you can catch me, you know, at Charlotte Truflava on Facebook, Instagram, Truflava 1995, and I'm always on my website at www.truflavaproductions.com. I will see you all next Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your week.